All right. Hello, everyone. It is 7 o'clock, so it is time for the Songs of Silence dev stream to start. Um, Thank you for joining us, whoever is watching. Very glad to do this. It's been a while since we've done a dev stream, so really happy to have a bunch of new things to show. We have several things, not just the game. We also have a lot of feedback and stuff we want to share with you. We did a player survey over the holidays, and we had really, I'll get into the detail. All right, so without further ado, let me present the results of the survey. So I will now share my screen and yeah, get into the survey. Like I said, we had over 319 respondents, which is huge, and it makes whatever results are there statistically valid. And yeah, so we looked a bit at the player information, high-level game evaluation, then campaign, scenario, skirmish, and also community sentiment. And then we did some targeted analysis, but I think at that point you'll be probably tired of it, maybe. Then let's dive into the high-level game evaluation. So the overall rating of the game was 4.1, 4.08, but I'll just round it up. And yeah, so we're happy to see this. It's in line with our score on Metacritic. It's in line with our score on Steam. So no surprises there. But good to see the evolution over time if we do another survey like this, obviously. Then going into the high-level rating of the content, the factions do feel unique, which is great. The little box, by the way, on the far right is people who are unsure, just to clarify. The hero classes feel varied and fun. Overall, yes. In our standards, we consider that anything that is above 3.75 is clear, let's say. Above 4 is really good. And if it's under 3.75, it means that we have to look into this at some point. Then the mechanics are well explained. That's also in a relatively good position. The factions are easy to understand. Nothing that stood out there. The battles are fun. Yes, that was actually quite an agreement, the fact that the battles are fun, but that we had this intuition and also, let's say, this comment from many people that they wish to have more information during battles. So then when we saw this question, we asked this question and we saw the answers, I have enough information in battles, we weren't surprised. So obviously it's something we are going to be looking into the future. A strategy game should have, in general, a high level of information so you can make meaningful decisions. It makes sense. Then for the systems, tooltips are useful and well made. There was actually pretty good appreciation on that, and texts are easy to read. Good rating on that, well, very good actually. Now, of course, we do separate PC and console. We know that on console, maybe things are, despite the update that we did, which increased the font size and where we added a high readability font, we know that on console, some people might still struggle. We'll try and look into it, but for now, we think a large portion of the issue has been addressed. The movement system, that actually is pretty interesting. When we asked this question, we were looking into the question, are people satisfied with the mouse click system? Because during the development, the beta, the early access, this was a topic that several people pointed out that they had some trouble, and seeing this made us pretty happy because it confirmed that now it's in a state where it works for a large majority of people, and we don't really have to come back to it, which, yeah, pretty reassuring, and we're pretty happy about this. Then, yeah, that was some other remarks on the systems. Some people still would like to see the pathfinding be a bit smoothened, add an undo button, and then there was some criticism around the tooltip structure and information depth. So yeah, these are typically the things that we know we want to look into, and the number on the right, by the way, is the number of times this was mentioned in the open comments for each of the sections in the survey. There was always an open comment section, and in that open comment section, this is what stood out and how many times people mentioned the issue, basically. Then we have balancing. So for balancing, we know this is a topic that right now some people are happy, some people are would like to see some change in the balancing. So hence why we asked quite a lot of questions specifically on the balancing. So to the questions, heroes have a clear gameplay profile. The overall answer was yes. Then for the units, it was yes, but a little less than the heroes. So that's something we know we have to look into at some point. Then here, unit synergies feel good and unit recruitment is well priced. Unfortunately, that was some of the lowest rated items. So we know at one point it's on our roadmap to address this. We have other stuff that we want to do first. We have to finish the DLC. I saw a question on this come through. I will answer that very soon enough. Then in terms of balancing still the location, there's still issues with locations, notably that the upgrades feel rewarding. We get it. There is an overall consensus that the economy is a little slow. This we have several ideas on how to tackle this problem. Obviously, if we just push the economy, it might break a lot of stuff since balancing is a very, let's say, holistic topic. But yeah, something we know we have to address, and I think that's actually the lowest rated item on the thing. Hey Korosame, I see you just joined. Nice to see you. Yeah, a lot of familiar faces. I didn't say hi actually to the people who joined already. So hi Elonio, hi Racer King. Oh, there we go. I don't know how to pronounce this. ECTNT. Hi to you as well. All right, and then healing and location is that one. So this is funny because we actually pushed it with update 1.1, and what I mean by pushed it, it's not we pushed it by like a few percentages. We double. Kushni. Okay, got it. So we didn't just push the healing by a few percent. We doubled it or even tripled it. So maybe it's still people that didn't see, I guess, that we have increased it. I don't know. We'll see over time and probably in the next version of the survey. Then there was a lot of open suggestions regarding the balancing and the seeing more unique abilities, synergies, of course, more factions, more heroes, more units, etc. So yeah, these are all things we take into account. For the future of the game. All right, let's dive into the campaign now evaluation since, well, you're going to see why this is important or the most important part. 94% of the respondents of the survey played the campaign and 30% completed it. This is a very high completion rate, but of course the people who answered the survey, you are probably some of the most engaged people there is for Songs of Silence, so thank you. So there was quite some interesting insights. Some of the reasons why people do not finish the campaign is, most of it they don't have time or they just started it, which is good. And then there was a few, let's say, friction items where we know we have to look into if we want to improve the campaign and make it more enjoyable for people. The high level rating for the campaign was very high, 4.09, which is a tad higher than the overall game, but given that a lot of people play mostly the campaign, it makes sense that these two are very close to each other. In terms of difficulty, most people play balanced, nothing surprising. This is in line with what most games do. Then the difficulty perception for people who play balanced, well, for them the game is balanced. Story mode, 50% say yeah, it's fine, and some people say that it's still a little easy. It is easy, which is surprising because story mode is meant to be easy, but okay, it's better to be too easy than not enough. For balance, there's still 23 people who said that it's a little hard for them, but yeah. Then again, you also have the rest that says it's too easy, so I think we're in a good middle spot. And for challenging, well, this is, I guess, a little surprising because 50 people, 49, say, yep, it's well balanced for challenging, and then some people say it's very hard, and 22% even say, okay, it's impossible. So I think this is tied to some difficulty spikes that we have in certain chapters, notably chapters 4, 6, and 8. So this is also something that we will look into and fix. It's not easy to just debuff the boss because it might make it not very rewarding. It's about also the build up. So yeah, we'll address this in any case. It's part of the top things we want to address following the survey. Then the campaign rating for each individual items, difficulties are well balanced. Well, there we have, I guess, as I said before, some people saying that no, it's not totally well balanced, so we'll be looking into this. Story is captivating. That is an overwhelming yes. It is very captivating, and we're very, very happy about this. Main characters are interesting. Yes. So very happy about this. Hero progression feels rewarding. That one is a little. I should have put this actually the 3.17 orange. My bad. But yeah, I guess this is also tied to the economy. It's tied to several things. Thanks to the survey, we see that there are some problems that are kind of transversal, and now we know, yeah, how to address this more properly. Yeah, the randomness sometimes in the hero progression. Yeah, I agree. Then economy progression feels good. Well, it was said before that the location upgrade was not rewarding, so obviously the economy progression cannot feel that good. So yeah, I mean, when I say not that good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying that if we are to choose between different topics to address and upgrade, this is what we would then look into. AI feels nice to play against. That is a very, yeah, let's say there's people agree, people disagree. It's kind of tricky because we think that first we want to address the economy, the balancing, and hopefully, okay, I will put myself a little louder if there's some mic. Let me know if it's too loud. This should be a little better. Maybe like this. Yeah, I don't want to blast your ears either. Let me know if for the sound of my voice it's okay. I can still put it up a little. All right, then moving forward, campaign playtime is satisfying. That's a yes. So yeah, we're happy with this. And then top remarks. So we have, like I said, difficulty spikes. We know about this. Chapters 4, 6, and 8 were mentioned. Then there was a lot of praise for the uniqueness of the campaign and the story, the art and the world building. So we're very happy about this. Thank you for the very, very kind comments. That really, it's very uplifting for all the dev team, the game designers, developers, artists, etc., etc. Then the scenario. So this one was actually quite interesting for us because we pushed our first scenario with update 1.1. So for those who might not have played it yet, it is a single player mode where you play a standalone, like a campaign map, but we don't have voiceovers. It focuses more on gameplay, and we're going to try to do some, and have it revolve around some interesting mechanics. And yeah, so we pushed our first scenario during the holidays. 51% of the respondents to the survey played it, and 43% completed it. So it's a huge completion rate. Obviously, it's just one map, so it's not comparable to campaign, but we're still very, very happy that we have this kind of result. The high level rating was 4.12, so it's higher than the overall game and even higher than the campaign, so we're very pleased. We know we want to do more of this, so it's good to know for us that we are going in the right direction by doing more scenarios. Pros and cons that people mentioned. The pros, well, they praised the scenario for its gameplay, the story, the fresh, interesting challenges, the additional mechanics. It's what we were aiming for, so we're really happy to read this. The cons, no VO. Well, yes, this was a, let's say this was a choice. Because if we have to do the voiceover, it extends the development time by a lot. We have to do a lock, we have to record the VOs, and it costs more money. They want, people didn't like some time-limited objectives, but I guess that's a personal preference. AI simplicity, lack of aggression, then again, that's also a preference, I would say. We didn't want to make it too aggressive, we want to make it balanced. So funny thing is, for the difficulty, we will not in the short midterm put a difficulty on scenarios, but that's why we wanted to build in these challenges. If you've played it, you saw there was a star system, and that's how we wanted to create the difficulty. So you have to try and replay it and do these challenges. That's how we put in the difficulty. The skip dialogue button. Yes, we know about this. It's also something that would be used probably for campaign. So yeah, I saw somebody mention it in the chat. We'll look into it. We have a bunch of requests. We try and prioritize what makes sense, give and take into account what people play the most, what they enjoy the most, and yeah, try and yeah. Then open comments, yeah, so that people want more scenarios. Again, the skip dialogue button. They wish to play the Crusade. I guess I can give you a sneak peek. We have a map already in preparation. We have several maps for scenarios in preparation. One of them is planned to be Crusade focused. I won't say more. I don't want the game designer Laura to barge in and yeah, strangle me like Homer Simpson does to Bart. So, but yeah, we have this on the list. And then for skirmish, well, 56% of respondents play skirmish, so it's obviously a lot less than the campaign and a lot less than the scenarios. No, we're not surprised. I think what drives most people to Songs of Silence is its campaign, it's the art style, the storytelling, etc. But we're glad to see people, of course, play skirmish. Among the people who play it, we have 41% of people who played it multiple times. So that's good because we know that there is replayability and things like this. For interesting finding is for the map size preferences. We thought that there might be a preference for small maps because they're shorter, easier to complete. Turns out that no, it's very balanced between small, medium, large maps, one-sided, two-sided. So we're actually pretty happy about this. But yeah. The high level rating is 3.87, so it's a little lower than the overall game. We're not surprised because most of the, let's say, issues that are affecting, or the pain points that are affecting Songs of Silence, they have the most impact in skirmish. So that's the slow economy, balancing issues, hero progression. These are all things that affect first and foremost skirmish, because in campaign there's more scripting between the different maps. There is not a full reset, but we renew the armies, and the side quests then allow people to sometimes carry units over or earn more units and start a certain campaign map with an advantage. That's how we do a cross map, let's say, progression. But yeah, still campaign is much more scripted and maybe more linear compared to skirmish. So hence why the lower score than the overall game. For the different points, navigation is fun. Yeah, nothing to say there. Factions are equally interesting. Nothing to say there. Heroes feel equally useful. That's the thing. So ties into the balancing, the profiles. Yeah. Funny enough, there is a lot of complaints. Or there was, I would say, a lot of complaints around the Crusade being overpowered. I think in the initial release of 1.0, that was maybe still the case, although we tried during early access to change things. Losing my English. But now when we look at actually the Unity data of the win-loss rate, depending on your faction that you're playing, it's very equal. So we don't know exactly what's happening, if it's still a subjective perception. But yeah. At least heroes feel equally useful. We want to work on that. Economy progression feels good. Well, yeah, I mean, already talked about it. Very slow economy in the beginning of skirmish games. And the issue is then if you make a mistake, it's punitive and you have a very, very harsh time coming back. So definitely something we want to address. AI feels nice to play against. That's something we're working on. We have the skirmish difficulty fate that's in progress. We've had, unfortunately, other things being prioritized, but we already started the groundwork for this. So yeah, I think there's a frustration because in some cases, some people would want to play a difficult AI. In certain cases, people would want to play easy AI. So we know about this. Open suggestions for skirmish. Yeah, customizable AI difficulty. That is the number one thing that was mentioned in open suggestions. There was sensation of repetitiveness and having more customizable settings. So yeah, so these are things we know about. All right. And then just briefly over for the community sentiment, we asked people how they feel about the game, towards the developers, if they think we're listening to them, etc. And the scores were actually we were very pleased to see that the perception on these questions was actually very good. That the game is going in the right direction, that we have a clear communication. We try to do our best, and I'm the one doing, for example, the Steam news. We have Boris that is often, I think I saw him put a message in the chat, that is often doing communication on Discord. Polan, Roman, different people, and we're all working together. So yeah, there's very little intermediates here. The communication, this relationship between the studio and the community is good. I feel like I'm a part of this community. So it's good. I feel like a part of this community, I think there is a subjective. Some people are very engaged on Discord, some less. I think that's a subjective topic, but in any case, we're going to continue on how we're doing things, how we're talking. Yeah. My feedback is considered, so that one we're actually pretty happy. It's almost 4, but it's at a point where, yes, people consider that their feedback is being listened to, so we're happy. And then, well, there's marketing. Some people feel like they would want to see Songs of Silence more in, I don't know, the news, on streamers. We're doing our best. Part of being an indie studio is like, yeah, we have to work hard. We have to pedal and try to. It's not easy. If we were Cyberpunk or, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, it would be much easier. But yeah, we're not. So we're doing our best. And then top remarks for the community. Mostly were praises and some, again, mentions of some, I would say, praises and wishes, requests for features and things like this. All right, so that's it for the player survey. So I hope that you enjoyed having this deep dive into the game and how, because I know you're playing the game. When we do these surveys, you have your opinion, and it's always interesting, I guess, to have then an overview of how other people see it. So yeah,